You are one vicious son of a bitch!
Greetings Spartans, FiOth here, and in today's vid we're gonna go over my ultimate damage build for the endgame of God of War. So, unlike my previous vid, which was dedicated to health regeneration, this one is dedicated to just pure damage and utility. Let's get started with the armor. Surprise, surprise, we'll be using every piece of the Valkyrie set. Now, this has been done to death, I know, but the reasons I go with this are pretty specific, so bear with me. Right now, the Valkyrie set has something that my favorite set, which is Ivoldi's set of Deadly Mist, is severely lacking, and that is the cooldown factor. What we will be doing with this build is overpower the enemy with massive bursts of damage from our cooldowns, meaning light and heavy runic attacks, talismans, and Atreus' magic. So we want the cooldown to be there, and we will be focusing on taking and tanking incoming damage. You see the defense is at 277, whilst dishing out huge amounts ourselves. So for the Kyrios, we have the perfect sigil of the realm, another aspect, and an eye of the realm. Now don't pay much attention to the names given to those gems, those are random drops. You just want to have the effects, meaning the perks. We will need 2 fire supremacy enchantments plus 25% burn damage each. Then we will want to have a burst of speed when we evade. You want that for its overall utility, and you can socket it any way you want. For the arms, we will use 3 frost mastery enchantments. 15% of frost damage each to 50% max. Will be hitting 45, losing 5% from the max that you can get, but it really isn't worth another slot. For the waist guard, the brilliant scale of the chain is something you will find whilst going through the game and looting it meticulously. It has a moderate activation chance to grant breathing of runing using a runic attack, and since we'll be using runic attacks all the damn time, this will proc. Don't be disheartened by its level 4 that you see there. As you can see on the right, I'm level 9, which is pretty much the cap you can reach, so you're good to go. Heart of the Valkyrie is another enchantment you will be getting by disposing of the Valkyries. A very low perk activation chance on any successful weapon hit to grant protection of the Valkyrie, grant you 50% resistance to all status effects and possibility of being staggered by enemy attacks. This is very important since you don't want to be staggered, thrown against the wall, blinded, etc, etc. Here you want to get the fortification perk in order to be able to expose enemies, openings, and counterattack windows when blocking barrages of attacks. Pay heed though, guys. These two, you might want to switch them up a bit in order to make sure you hit a runic of at least 175. This is very important to activate the secondary effects of the Blades of Chaos finisher. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this one. It has 2 additional bonuses. At 125, adds a hazard to the standard heavy finisher point of impact that inflicts burn damage, and the second one adds a series of cluster bomb concussions to the heavy combo finisher that inflicts burn damage. We have plus 50% burn damage. This combo is awesome because of its reach, area of effect, damage potential, and the secondary effects are totally worth the investment in runic. So don't forget about that. Last but not least, the illustrious Shattered Gauntlet of Ages, which you can find and unlock its full potential by following the vid that you see on the top right. You have to slot in 3 of the 6 infinity stones in it. So I'm using the Eye of Outer Realm and Valkyrie's Soul. Very high activation chance to grant health birth on any successful runic attack kill. Guess what? We'll be slaughtering enemies in the masses with runic attack kills. And Realm-by enemies are weakened by slotting Ivoldi's Corrupted Mind. Now for weapons. Fury of the Ice Troll with a magnificent 22 seconds cooldown because of our awesome cooldown to the right. Ivoldi's Soul with a majestic 34 seconds cooldown. Both of these will deal a shitload of damage. You can see the frost damage here on Ivoldi's Anvil. It's 5 out of 5 with our 50% bonus. This is gonna be awesome. And Fury of the Ice Troll, both physical and frost damage, and very, very low cooldown. You will need Wings of the Fallen here. Moderate perk activation chance on any successful kill to grant power of the Valkyrie, increasing runic and strength. Strikes up to 3 times nonetheless. And when you will be showering the enemy with damaging runic attack effects, they will be dying left and right, and you will just be chilling in the back, enjoying these effects, proccing again and again. For the blades, Nemean Crush, my favorite because of how fast it can be cast and how soon you can have it back. And Hyperion Grapple. Now in the gameplay I showed you the grapple didn't work for shit because I was using it on the Traveler. But on every average to small enemy, this will proc, pulling Kratos close to them, slamming them in the face with his fucking huge body and causing a massive amount of damage, stun and concussive area of effect disruptions. So this is great, although it seems, I don't know, abysmal in conjunction with some others, but it's actually very, very powerful. It can be misleading how powerful this is. If you don't want to go for an aimed one, go with Meteoric Slam. It has great burn potential and you will be dealing even more burn damage because of your stats. So you can try that, or whichever one for that case. With the Blades of Chaos you can be a little bit more free with your choices. Grips of the Valkyrie will be the grip we want, again because with every successful Blades hit you get low perk activation chance for strength and runic, even more damage. For Atreus' magic, go with Storm of the Elks. It's half the cooldown time of the most damaging one, which is the Murder of Crows, which I really love, but Storm of the Elks you can have in half the time and it's very, very disruptive. You won't really need Atreus to deal damage when you have that much damage potential yourself, but disrupting the enemy, not allowing them to attack whilst they being peppered with arrows and frozen and burning at the same time, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Final note, for Atreus' armor, go for the legendary Sharpshooter Garb. Makes him much more damaging with his ranged attacks and much more versatile. He won't be able to heal you this way, but the damage, it's totally worth it. I'm gonna give you another demonstration of how the build works with a little bit of gameplay after this. I hope you found this useful. Sub, like and share if you did. I'm making more vids for you every day. Hope you find them to your liking. Your support is highly appreciated. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!